Mr. Adami, you're charged with unlawful restraint. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I am.
On September 23rd, 2024, officers were dispatched to a welfare check at 10-0101 Morocco Road in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant. The complainant, the defendant's girlfriend, stated she had been living with the defendant for about 4 months, was doing housework in the room with the defendant, and the defendant went through the complainant's phone before leaving the residence. The complainant stated she was on the phone with her friend when the defendant called, but the complainant did not answer the defendant. The defendant texted the complainant asking what she was doing. The complainant replied she was on the phone with her friend, and the defendant became upset and texted her to leave the residence. The complainant stated she heard a door being slammed, realized the defendant had returned, and the defendant walked into a room with a trash bag for her, telling her to pack her shit and leave. The complainant asked the defendant why the phone was hung up, and he told her that stuff was found on her phone and stated he wanted to slap her. The complainant stated the defendant slapped her face with his right hand and told her to get out. The complainant walked out of the residence and the defendant agreed to take her to a friend's house. That's when the defendant and the complainant argued for approximately 10 minutes in the vehicle, during which the defendant punched her 4 times with his right hand on her left shoulder, and the complainant was about to get out when the defendant stated that he would beat the shit out of her if she did leave the vehicle. The complainant tried twice to leave the vehicle, and both times the defendant threatened her. The defendant stated, "Why do you keep crying, you bitch? I really want to slap you. What are you scared of?" The complainant went to the restroom, left the phone in the vehicle after the defendant said to do so, but the defendant followed her, told her to get out of the bathroom, and gave her 2 choices: to either call her ex-boyfriend or go to Bissonnette Street to give herself out. The complainant stated she felt pain both times she was hit, but did not require medical attention. The complainant said she was scared of the defendant. The defendant was ID'd with his Texas identification.
So they charge a felony assault on him, I assume. And this,
Yes.
It's an assault of previous judge.
Previous.
he has, from what I see, a prior felony assault of a pregnant person. Tell me it's the same complaining witness. Mr. Adame, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
Does not appear to be the same complainant, Your Honor.
If I drug test you now, what are you going to test positive for? I'm sending you now for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what you're going to test positive for. Why are you so angry? You know, this life can be a great life where you have a lot of fun, or it can be a completely rotten, miserable life. And now you're working on your 3rd case, right? All of them violent offenses where at some point your ass is going to get thrown into prison. What do you think they'll do to a small guy like you in prison? This is your 2nd time now you're facing up to 10 years in prison. You and I, are now going to work on this anger issue. And if you don't, I'm going to keep you with me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
First thing we're going to do is I'm sending you for a drug test. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have you come back and you and I are going to figure out what to do to work on these anger issues so it stops. How old are you? Well, how old?
22.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm looking at concrete.
Did you graduate from high school?
No, sir.
That's the first thing we're also going to work on as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to send him for right now for a drug test. We'll have him come back and we'll go from there. If you fail to come back or if you fail to take the drug test, I will double what your felony bond is right now.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll have you sign a reset and then you'll get with Rachel.
DOT people.
Okay. Miss Julia Garza, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On September 23rd, 2024, officers made contact with the complainant at 1801 West Bay Area Boulevard in Harris County, Texas. The complainant, a Target employee, stated the defendant Garza arrived at the store alone, selected several items from different aisles, and placed them in a cart. The defendant was later observed to meet with the second defendant, Pineda, and walked together past all points of sale without purchase. The complainant stated the second defendant, Pineda, was pushing the cart while defendant 1, Garza, was walking beside him. The total stolen was $708.73. Defendant 1 was ID'd with a Texas ID, and defendant 2, Pineda, was identified with the date of birth.
So you said this is at a Target, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Does the fact that a case is dismissed play into the 2-year rule? So she had a case that was dismissed in 20. I guess that's. Is that why? Did you look in? You looked into it? Okay, I imagine you did. Miss Garza, how old are you? Since 2022, we are now in 24. Since a year and a half ago, you've picked up an endangering of a child, assault of a family member, assault, bodily injury, theft, possession of a controlled substance, and now another theft. So that is in a year and a half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now on your 9th case. If I send you to get drug and alcohol tested right now, what are you going to test positive for?
Marijuana.
What else?
Got it.
That's about it. I'm sending you right now for a drug and alcohol test. You must come right back. If you fail to come back, I will quintuple or 10 times the bond amount. Do you understand?
Yes.
What do you do for a living?
Nothing at the moment. I stay home and take care of it.
You stay home what?
I take care of my child.
You have a child. How many kids you got? 4 kids.
Yeah, those child and those were my kids. But,
Well, I want to send her for a drug test and we'll have her come right back. We will also go through every single one of your theft cases to see where all the places are. And we will talk about your bond conditions as to what you can and can't do. But first thing, I want to know what is in your system. The other thing you need to understand is you're now working your 9th case. At some point, CPS is going to get involved in your life. And when that happens, it's not going to be, it's just, has CPS been involved in your life? Now, are they involved in your life now? Good. Okay, let's do it.
Right this way. Martinez.
Good morning. You picked up a new case. You've now picked up another violation of a protective order. You're facing yet another year and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have from April a prior assault of a family member that's been dismissed. You pled to a deferred adjudication. You're now on probation for a deferred on a violation of a protective order. Since then, you picked up an assault of a pregnant person, and now you pick up another violation of a protective order. And I got to tell you, I'm in shock that they haven't filed another 3rd-degree felony because they could. Because when you pick up successive VPOs within like a year, they make it a 3rd-degree felony. Anyways, please.
The complainant and defendant are married. On August 28th, 2024, officers responded to a call at 16715 Clay Road to meet a citizen call. The complainant stated the defendant had been sending her text messages from his personal phone. The complainant showed messages of the suspect sending her a link on how to write an affidavit. The complainant stated the defendant was trying to get her to change her statement on the affidavit and to have her drop the charges against him. The complainant stated the defendant never said anything threatening to her, but the defendant has a no contact order against him.
Are you representing him upstairs? So then no contact is upstairs in the felony case, or is it while on our probationary case? I'm assuming the assault of a pregnant person is the same one in this, right? Okay. Mr. Craig, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You're right now being held at no bond, and I don't know what to put your bond at. I don't. Your bond with me on the probation case is 10,000. Your assault's at 40,000. I don't know what to do on our case.
Judge, but I was going into the evidence of what's actually going on. We'd asked for a PR bond, just simple. Because it's not that. He's already posted 2 bonds. And again, we don't know the facts, but I would allude to the fact that it's a game that's being played, and
I got to tell you, I'm surprised that they even didn't file obstruction charges on you, because it's, you know, what they're alleging is potential obstruction of justice charges again, also. Did we file a motion to revoke in our case?
No, but I could have made it right now. There was already a motion for.
Is DVD on this case?
Yes,
Yes,
Judge,
Your
this is a DVD case. I'm planning to email Ryan to talk to him and Mary today about possible charges.
Are they in trial now? Are they busy? What are they?
I think Ryan is in ERD all this week, Judge.
Okay. We need to set a bond in this case. I don't know what to.
And Judge, I was waiting for you to give us an opportunity to speak on the bond. He's already got, to be clear, and you know already, this is all the same complaint. Every case that he's got, every dismissed case that he has in this county is the same exact complaint that is coming with his wife. Looks like he's got a bond in felony court right now for assaulting her while pregnant at $40,000 that's currently pending. On our case, he got a $10,001 bond. And we were going to request 50,000, Judge, just for the safety of the complainant, the sheer amount of cases.
And Judge, I had to remind this court that the wife had a case against him. Again, it's a kind of a back and forth between the two. I understand though that the problem is that my client shouldn't have called her, saw her, whatever, just because she called him. Because,
Do they have children together?
yes,
How many kids they got?
1,
How old's the child?
she's 6, 1, 2,
He just turned 1
just turned 1.
on 30th of June.
And it's a different thing, Judge, to me. If the contact is, oh, he's got a no contact order, but he's talking about the kids or something to that effect. This is the worst kind of contact. He's telling her, you need to lie to the state of Texas, submit an affidavit of non-prosecution. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's one of the most heinous things you can do besides being directly violent to somebody.
Except
And
for the
that's why I'm asking for the amount that I'm asking for, Judge.
Except for the fact, Judge, that she said to him, I'm gonna drop the charges, so tell me what to do. So again, it is a back and
Was it allegedly in response to this, though?
yes, I mean, it's the back and forth between these two. That's being used in the court system where it should not be used. Like she has a case where she ran him over with a car, you know what I mean? So it's,
She hasn't opened cases against him?
Let me check, Judge.
I don't know if the case is already open or if
Why,
it's.
why so much anger?
Judge, it was pled down to an assault family member. She did plead guilty to that in 2023.
You know, there are at times people who are a true cancer to each other. You guys are just,
Toxic.
it's a toxic relationship. Why can't you move on? Why so much anger? You know, there's how many women in this world? 4 quadrillion, 10 billion? How on earth can you allegedly let someone get under your skin so much that you're willing to risk a decade of your life over and over when all you got to do is literally get up, walk out the door, and move on to the next one. Life is so short to just sit in a box all day. You can't play Xbox. I'm gonna leave here in about 15 minutes. I'm gonna go play Fortnite because they just did a new update. And I'm like chomping at the bit, struggling just to finish work here so I can go play Fortnite. I mean, why so much anger, Mr. Craig? Why are you so angry? Was someone angry to you growing up?
I haven't been able to practice good emotional control methods, but I'm working on that, sir.
How?
By identifying what my triggers are, and
What have you done?
I just meditated, prayed. I took in counseling. I started a session, had couple sessions.
It's not working. You need to find something new. And the first thing you need to do is you need to distance yourself from this person. It's evident that you two guys are polar and complete opposites and have no business being with each other. Even if you have a child, you have no business being with this person because all this person does is kill you. She's a cancer to your life. And if you can't see it now, after a fourth case, I don't know what it's going to take to get through to you. Perhaps putting you in prison for 7 years is what it's going to take to get through to you, that she's a cancer to you and you are a cancer to her. You know, you have assault, allegedly assault after alleged assault. She has a car running over. I mean, really, what else is it going to take? Stop. All I know is that you have repeatedly shown me that you refuse to abide by our conditions of the court. What am I to do? I don't know. I'm at a loss as to what to do because whatever I do, I know he's just going to do the opposite. Look, what you tell me goes in one ear, goes out the other ear. Who you are is by what is shown on paper, because that's who you are. You say no, but here we are, another VPO. I agree with you in the respect it's not the most egregious where he didn't bodily harm her. But I also agree with you. It's one of the it's bad because you're trying to subvert justice. It's not good. So I really can't give him a PR bond. I mean, you understand that. I mean, that like, if I were to give him a PR bond, it would be just telling you that your behavior is okay when it's not okay. I'm gonna set your bond at 20,000 for now. And I really hope that you understand and realize that if not for you, if not for your mom, if not for me, if not for Mr. Michael here, do it for your kid. That child needs a father. She doesn't need a father in prison. She needs a father out there to give her love, support, money, because she eats, she needs clothes. And while you're in custody, you can't do any of that stuff. Get away from this woman before she really kills you. I'm not going to have this conversation with you again. The next time I find that you violate conditions, I will have a hearing to hold you at no bond. Zero bond until everything is over with, which theoretically I could do now because you're on bond for a violation or you're on probation for a VPO and you pick up another VPO. Theoretically, I could have a hearing now to hold you at no bond, which I don't know if we should, but I think it goes without saying that you're not to have any contact with her. And I will put a GPS monitor on your leg prior to your release. And Mr. Craig, you violate one other condition from now on, I will have a hearing to hold you at no bond. Do you understand me?
Sir.
No alcohol, no drugs, random urinalysis. What do you do with yourself these days?
Well, I was staying with my father, trying to get a job. I was working prior to me catching the assault on a family member. I was working as a temp at a tractor production company.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
Great. That's a good thing. I mean,
I was trying to go back to school to do audio engineering.
never too late.
Yes, sir.
But get away from this woman, Mr. Craig. She's killing you. Killing you. It's a damn shame, too, because, you know, you could be destined for greatness, and here we are. Another $20,000 bond. The felony case is set for today, I guess.
Yes.
Back up there now.
Yes.
Okay. I guess we're gonna take him in now. Just give us like a heads up of whatever day you get, and we'll just carry it with that case. Now, I don't know if you're gonna make bond, Mr. Craig, but if you do, don't violate these conditions. Do not have contact with this person, and then we'll just carry it with the felony.
Yes, sir.
They're gonna file a motion to revoke your probation. So now you're gonna have to make a bond on that one as well. And then we'll go from there. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, guys. 20.